All right. Social media, it is both the bane of our existence and it is our lifeblood. We have to embrace the positive side of social media and kind of stay above the fray with the negative because we have to face the fact that I don't care if your people are local or your people are distant or they're, combination, you're going to reach them through social media by and large. Okay. Especially now in this during post whatever COVID state we're in, there's going to be a level, I don't believe that's going to still be, there's just going to be a level of lockdown I don't think that we're ever going to fully get out of. It might be to a greater degree, but people, even more so than ever, of course, are dependent upon social media to connect to other people. And they look to social media to find assistance in something. Okay? They're looking there for answers to all that ails them and to just general answers about existence and all of this. So in this technological era that we are in solidly and hurtling towards greater technologies faster than we can really recognize, we absolutely need to have some level of social media presence. It does not mean that we have to have a presence that is, a YouTube channel that's 500,000 subscribers and 10,000, followers on Instagram and all of this. It just means that we've got to be sure that we're in those spaces and in those places and able to be found so that people can be, it's like setting your magnet out. If you keep putting your magnet in its little plastic case, it can't attract anything because the magnetic field can't get outside of that plastic case or whatever in order to really attract anybody. I have seen people build large, and depending on how large you wish your business, your practice to be, build quite large and quite abundant practices, businesses, and they have, less than 10,000, less than 5,000, in some cases less than 1,000 on various platforms. It's less about the number of followers and more about your interaction with those people that are interacting with you. And then doing like collaborations and things of that just to kind of get yourself put it out there. There's a science to it, and we're going to talk about the science too. So this is going to be a lot of discussion. So, kind of be prepared to take notes and be prepared to look back on this, and we'll get this out here as quickly as possible. The main thing that you have to, so you need to choose 1 to 2 social media platforms to be present on. For ease of discovery and for ease of conversation and lead generation, I'm finding very quickly that Instagram is really the way to go. If you're selling hard goods, though, TikTok is quite nice for that. Very nice for it. I can't even tell you how many different little thingies either I've bought on TikTok or my friends have bought on TikTok or whatnot. They're like, oh, I saw this on TikTok and I went and ordered it. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. It's just like, and that's a minute, right? It's a minute. Instagram is great. TikTok is great. Facebook is okay. They're still quite prevalent, the Facebook groups and this and that. I think I'm going to, let me see how much I can show you guys. And of all of them, believe it or not, YouTube is probably the most difficult. It's the most difficult because it doesn't afford you a lot of opportunity to have interaction with the individual that you're trying to develop, right, a relationship with. It gives people a great opportunity to get to know you and your energy. It does not give you a great opportunity to direct message people and to start a conversation. Instagram is the easiest one to do that with, by far. The absolute hands down easiest. YouTube, and to some extent, I feel like as well, Facebook is so much more of a requirement for you to depend on what we call a call to action. So I'm going to talk about a few different terms here in marketing, period. And some of you may already know this, and so just bear with us. The lifeblood of what you're doing is two things. It's your offer. Three things. Your offer, your persona or your energy, and your calls to action. You need to have an offer that people will understand easily and that they'll resonate with. Your client will resonate with easily. Your persona or your energy needs to be where they begin to trust you. And then the call to action is you have to make it easy for them to take action to alleviate the pain point that the offer basically is illuminating for them. So by that I mean this. I help people identify, clarify, and prosper in their purpose. That's my offer. I say that in multiple different ways, and I do that in multiple different ways. So you can watch my YouTube videos. You can read my Instagram posts. I'm not doing as much on TikTok. I'll pick that back up again. And you can get a lot of information from those venues, from those avenues that are going to help you identify, clarify, and prosper in your purpose. It will help you somehow alleviate some of the things that keep us from doing so. One of which is not having as great of an understanding of how energy works, of the of metaphysics or spirituality, right? As one would like. Another way you do that through my YouTube and my Instagram, really primarily YouTube, is when you're watching any of the new moon and full moon, right, videos. Or I try to make sure I do that even in the tarot readings, right? There's some information here to help propel you to the next step. The podcast is all about learning about specific things. And listening to other light workers, and then we bring out good information to help you along your process. All of that is free content. All of that is adding value. All of that feeds my purpose and feeds me. It makes me feel fantastic. I'm not doing that solely for the purpose of lead generation. I don't want anyone to get that idea. I'm doing it because it's my purpose. I'm doing it because of what I'm called to do. However, through that, a side effect of that is that it helps to resonate. It resonates with somebody, and somebody is then willing to take the step and say, you know what? I want to work with her. I can trust her. She really does care. And I want to work with her. I am attracted to, we are in that place in our joint experiences in the matrix that we have now aligned our times, and now is the time to work with her. Because all of us that are here at some point said to me that you wanted to help people with something. You wanted to teach somebody something. You wanted to help somebody heal something. You wanted to help to raise the vibrational set point of humanity. You knew this was part of your mission. We can't do that unless we're putting out the beacon, unless we've put the bat signal up in the sky and said, I'm here. A doctor cannot be successful until the doctor puts their shingle out, so to speak. I mean, back in the old days, the doctor came, or the dentist or whatever, they had their little space, and they hung their shingle. They hung their sign up to the street to say, I'm Dr. So-and-so, and I'm here, and I'm open. The shopkeeper, the barkeep, the hotel, nobody knows they're there and they exist until you put your shingle out. Now, this was something that they wanted to do and that they felt compelled and propelled to do, right? Especially if you're talking about a medical doctor or a dentist or counselor or whomever. But at the end of the day, they're also putting their shingle out saying they're ready to accept the energy exchange. And that's what social media is for you. That's what the social media content is for you. And that is what reaching out and creating community is for you. So while everything I do is always led by source, it is always led by, okay, this is, what we should teach. This is what we should be putting forward. I always have a call to action. I always give people the opportunity to say, you can click that link below. You can comment, ready, purpose. You can DM me, ready, purpose, whatever. And then I start a conversation. And then we see if it's a fit. Okay? So I want you to begin to think about as well, who are you on social media? This is your brand. What's your brand? When someone looks at your Instagram page, when someone watches your YouTube videos, when someone watches your TikTok videos, or wherever else you are, what do they see? And what energy do they receive from you? And if you can look at that objectively, or as we can begin to look at that objectively as well, if you're not sending out the signal that's going to attract the people, then we need to change the signal. And we need to really dig deep as to who we really are. And is this what we really want to portray? Are you being authentic? Because, in fact, I just talked with somebody yesterday, and we're going to talk again tomorrow. She told me that she had interacted with a number of spiritual coaches and mentors and this and that, but they basically were using her for her abilities. It got kind of icky. So there's a lot of people, and that really hit me hard. There's a lot of people out here that are not who they say they are and are preying upon us. Okay? So it became even more vitally important for me to make sure that we are representative of those that operate with integrity and with purity of heart, right, on our mission, right? I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a shaman and I'm adept and whatever, extremely knowledgeable of shamanic practices. I suppose there's a lot of them that I do, not knowing that they're shamanic practices. I'm not going to sit here and portray myself as such. I'm not going to any revelations and downloads and new insights that come from, our time together. I'm not going to go put it out on my YouTube channel and be like, the Lord told me this today. I'm not going to take credit for it. Right? So let's be authentic and let's always remember that. And this, you guys are just totally getting a stream of consciousness download right now. So I apologize if it feels a little helter-skelter, but I'm just downloading what's on my heart. So we have our offer statement. Kind of coupled with that offer statement or underneath that is your mission, right? So as you're beginning to look at your social medias and you're beginning to say, okay, this is where I want to go and this is how I want to portray myself, you develop your mission as well. So my mission statement really is to interact with, to mentor, to mother, to empower light workers and starseeds to realize their higher purpose, to impact humanity in an exponential manner so that all are raised up to their highest good. Now that's kind of like loosey-goosey, and that's rather, that's really woo-woo and whatnot. But my honest to goodness, I want nothing more than to know that there's been 500, 1,000, however many people that have lightworkers that have come through Lightworker Academy and created this amazing community, and that exponentially hundreds and tens of thousands have been impacted as a result in a positive manner, and so many people have been set free and been able to heal across all different areas. It doesn't matter, right? There's nothing that would please me more. That would be like, yep, did my thing, man. I did my thing. That was awesome. And to see all these wonderful people that have been impacted. So let your mission be big. And let everything that you're doing and everything you're putting out there tie back into your, not just your offer, but your mission. Because that will shine through in an amazing way. The truth will be seen. The light will always be seen. Okay? So we've got our mission, and we're thinking about our brand. And I want you just to take a few minutes, even if you're not on any of these platforms in a business sense right now, what is your personal brand? And I will tell you the reason I'm not really on Facebook that much, and that's because I don't feel I can be very authentic in my own personal brand. Because if I was real and raw in my personal brand, I'm not sure how many more friends I'd lose on Facebook. And I just choose not to engage. It's not worth it to me. So is that an area I might go back to? Yeah, I guess. But I just haven't focused there. So I want you to think about what is it? What do you want people, if someone clicks on your Instagram page or whatnot, let's just start there. What do you want them to know about you? What do you want them to see? What is your heart? I would also recommend, personally, I would recommend separating your personal Instagram from your business Instagram. Because eventually, some of you may get to the point, if you so desire, that you've got an assistant in your Instagram that's doing all your direct messages for you. Also, it helps separate. It sets boundaries, right? That's a very hard boundary. This is my personal Instagram. This is my business Instagram. Now, the two may cross. So on Instagram, I haven't done it a lot lately, but on Instagram, I could very easily post a lot of things. In fact, I haven't, even on my personal Facebook. I've not been one that's gone after my quote unquote warm market. I can't tell you that the personal people that follow me on Instagram know what the heck I do. Shocking, but true. And I suppose now that I've said that, I need to think about why, don't I?
Surprise.
You know, at first, I can tell you why. At first, I'm pretty sure all of us probably have felt this way. I was in the tarot closet. I
Ah,
I was in the spirituality closet when I first started. That I was definitely in the tarot closet.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I don't do anything on Facebook because closed minds.
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Everything I do is on Instagram or YouTube because I encounter more open minds there. And on Facebook, I'm just like, I don't have time to explain and defend why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is
Right.
my life. You're living your life. Let's
Right.
just keep it pushing.
Hmm.
Right?
Right. Yeah,
Yep.
well said.
Yep.
Well said. It's not worth it. It's not it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
It's too much of an energy drain.
Too much of an energy
Yeah.
drain. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, I need to, though, I should get more active on Facebook because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of my warm market right now. First of all, they're all just like, that girl's not working. She ain't working for Human. What is she over there doing? What's she doing? And I've gotten more authentic in my own life. You know, the family knows now. You know, I was really afraid of Denise. That's my mother. I was real afraid of Denise, that Denise was
Oh
going to
boy.
lose it when she found out I was touching a tarot card. I'm
Oh
still
boy.
not convinced, but she's much better now.
Oh
What,
boy.
light years better.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, we just don't
Wow.
discuss the fact that I touched tarot. But we could
Yeah.
talk about everything else. Like, she's like so much more open to everything. And we just had a wonderful discussion last week about spirituality and timelines and chakras and DNA light codes and all of these things, that
Wow, big stuff.
huge steps. And it was a huge check for me
Big
because
stuff.
she was relating this to me in the context of Christianity. And of course,
Right.
I'm sitting here like, Mom, 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 it's not just that. And then I got tapped on the shoulder like, will you just let her come to this on her own and stop working your nerves about it?
Wow.
Okay. You know? So I'm pretty sure that my warm market now would be much more accepting. And if they're not, I don't care. I guess that's my point. But
Right.
yes, it's the
Yeah.
much more open Instagram wise and child, please. It's freer. Anyway, I would separate, though, your personal Instagram from your business Instagram. If you're starting in on YouTube, uh, maintaining two channels is ridiculous. So that just needs to be for your business, so to speak. Okay.
See, yeah,
And
I
YouTube,
have two channels.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and I have two Instagrams, but neither one of them are really personal. But my Instagram with the biggest following, I could say that it's where I open up the most, but none of them are personal, but I still feel the need to like clean it up and hone it in
Mm.
because I don't know. I just feel like when you go to my Instagram, although you see me, more people might think, oh, this is a personal Instagram, but it's not. Even though I post me, there's a message usually going with it. But a lot of people just see me, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I feel like I'm beautiful, so I think they just like gravitate towards the beauty instead of like the message a
Hmm.
lot.
Wow.
Do
Interesting.
you
That's a
feel
good way
like
to
your
put it.
message is getting heard, or do you feel like your message is getting lost on?
I feel like it gets heard for the most part. I get pretty good feedback on my messages, but it's usually through DM instead of comment where people they might comment and they might just comment on my looks or whatever I'm doing
But
in the
that's good.
photos.
No,
Yeah.
that's perfect. I would rather they were in your DM. Well, unless
Okay.
it's, hey, baby, you want to get together?
No,
Like, I
it's not.
mean,
It's not like that.
you know, child, I get enough of that. Where you from? What?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, you're just so beautiful. I love your smile. Boy, bad. Like, do you? Where you
Yeah.
going? I'm not on here to find a man, okay? Ain't nobody trying to, man, come on now. But anyway, there have been really nice relationships that have started. Not by me, but anyway. But okay, so if they're, just saying, if they're coming to you and interacting on the level on your personal Instagram, Malika, on the
Well,
level
I
that,
wouldn't consider it personal. I wouldn't
okay,
consider it personal.
that you
I
may or
don't
may
have a
not,
personal.
huh?
I don't have a personal Instagram. I started that Instagram back when I was telling you that I started with beauty or whatever, but then I flipped over to self help. So that's always been like a business Instagram. I've never really had a personal Instagram.
Okay. So why do you have a second Instagram then?
I started one when I started tarot because people were like unfollowing me because I started tarot on my main
Mm,
Instagram. So I was
mm.
like, oh, let me just start another one. So I started another one where they could just go over there if they felt like, oh my God, she's doing tarot and oracle and
Child, I
all of
know. The woman that became a witch.
that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, I get that all
Wow.
the time. You're just being
Don't
a
say
witch.
that.
People are people
Wow.
are good until they hear that tarot, and then they freak out.
They do.
It's
Yep.
Yeah,
crazy.
They do. They do.
You can talk to them about anything else, and they're good, and they kind of get it, and all of that. But then the cards, it's over with. You just lost it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Right.
exactly.
But that is what it is. I mean, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I just, it is what it is. I just, well, I need to stop with that. But anyway, um, I don't, okay, so in your case, Malika, you got this following because from the beauty and then you're turning over to the self-help. Leave that where it's at. I would do that. I would use that for your program
Okay.
because that'll be an easier thing. The tarot, if you enjoy it and it feeds you, then just let that be your thing that you do.
Okay.
And you'll get some from that too. It's actually harder, believe it or not, to turn your tarot channel over to all around spirituality than it is to take your beauty channel and turn it around to self-help and spirituality.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for
It,
clarifying that.
it is infinitely harder. I know because I did it to my YouTube channel. And every time I want to get out of pulling a card, they pull me back in. Right?
Yes.
Those of you that saw The Godfather 3, you'll know that, every time I want to get
Uh-huh.
out, they try to pull me back. Anyway, so that's why I can't escape it anymore.
Mhm.
So I've just had to find a way to pull cards where I can either have fun with it, it's interesting, or I can do it not about just specific topics, aka love.
I get sick and tired of that. That love. Oh my God. I hate it.
You and me both.
And there's nothing wrong with the Love Channel. My bestie, Secret Tarot, she has built an empire
Right?
on pulling cards for love. However, if she were to tell you the truth, she wishes she could get out of only doing it, but she can't now.
That's right.
Yeah, like that's why I tried to start my tarot channel doing all types of readings, but
Yeah.
my most viewed are love. And I have to tell people constantly, this is not a love tarot channel. This is because you're not going to get that every week from me. You're just not.
No.
I don't care. I care about you growing spiritually.
Right.
Right?
So the closest they
That's
gonna
a good
get
way to put it.
exactly. But the closest they're gonna get to that with me is gonna be that sex magic. Anyway, but at any rate, so we digress. So your IG, whether it's personal business or what have you, with your main IG channel, you are showcasing yourself. So the difference between my personal IG channel and my business is my personal one is a lot of, hey, we cooked out for Mother's Day, or hey, this is what my grandbaby did, or hey, whatever the case is. I'm somewhere and I'm looking good that day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, whatever. That's just the kind of general whatever day-to-day life, Lisa. What's quickly happening though, or whatever, is day-to-day Lisa is now going to be leaking over into business side, Heart of Inspiration, because people
Right.
need to connect with me as a real person,
Right. That's right.
and see my life. So I'll be starting to give some more of that. But the way that I connect with people on Instagram that way, right, is we'll do the video, the vignettes, we'll do the selfies, we'll do the stories. I'm starting to do more stories. So you'll want to have some of those posts on social media. So when you're growing your social media, this is what I found. And I'm gonna do specifically Instagram first. When you're growing your social media, you should have one post every day that's a selfie, that's a little bit of a video, that's something showing you. So y'all hands people are going to have to kind of give it up a wee bit. People want to see your face. They want to see your smile. They want to feel your energy. Okay?
Yeah.
We're not
Posting
just
every
all
day is-
hands. We're not walking around. What was it thing in Adam's family that was just the hand?
Right.
Wasn't it thing? Wasn't that what they called the hand
Yes.
in Adam's
Yes.
family?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not just all things.
But Lisa, I just filed my nails all up pretty. Really?
Well,
I'm I'm not even showing my face today because my hair looks so bad.
Show us the nails.
I'm sorry.
And y'all know me I mean, those some of y'all have been with me for quite a while. Let me tell you something. I have people that come and watch my tarot readings simply to see what my nails are going to look like.
I
Right.
I
believe
know that's
that.
right.
They look good.
Thank you.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
I did notice it in the astrology one. I did notice your nails there with
Thank
the
you.
Yes.
iPad.
Yeah, thank you. I'm loving them. These are my Florida nails. I really was gonna get them even like Cardi B longer, and I'm like, oh, I think that's a little too long. I won't be able to function. Um, but yes, they used to literally come to see what my nails look like,
Yeah.
Wow.
and that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying don't show your hands. So okay, so Miss Shelley, for you, if you're doing your readings or you do what have you, then and you want to just do the hands, I get that. Okay, I'm just saying on
Uh,
Instagram.
I'm gonna have to show my face.
Yes, dear.
I hear you.
Wow.
And occasionally on YouTube, you might actually have to show your
I
face, beloved.
I know. I will. I'll get
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And by the way, when you do show your face and as you're creating your business, all of your hair products, your haircuts, your colorings, your those of us that wear makeup, your makeup, and getting your nails done is all tax deductible.
Really?
Oh. Oh.
No shit.
Hello.
So I happily go to Ulta all the
Wow.
time. Happily.
I am
If I
thrilled
need
to
a new
find
shade.
that out.
Hmm. So, go get my braids done, go get my this done, go get my that done. Tax deductible. I'm on camera. I can't be out here looking like who did what and what wherefore. I can't do that. I have a persona. My tops are tax deductible.
Wow.
Why?
I'm
Because I
real.
don't just come on here wearing any old thing, right? My tops are tax deductible.
Wow. Okay.
My bracelets are tax deductible. My rings are tax deductible. My lovely rose gold watch, tax deductible. Why? Because it is seen on camera. It is part of who I am. It is part of my brand, part of my persona. Okay?
Damn.
Hello.
Yeah.
I just changed my mind.
Yeah, no doubt. You go get a makeover.
I think I will.
Tax deductible.
Yes.
Damn.
Every crystal you purchase, every tarot deck you purchase,
Holy
every
cow.
subscription you have, now this is a little bit off the beaten path here, but every subscription you have, let's say for an astrology or what have you, right? To draw charts, if you paid for it, tax deductible. Every bit of software, tax deductible. Your camera, your laptop, your desktop, your lights, tax deductible. Everything on this set, tax deductible. Hello?
Mhm.
Can
If
I
you,
ask, are you doing that as an LLC and or like a corporation or like a 1099? Like,
I'm, so last year I became an LLC.
okay,
But prior to that, I was a sole proprietor anyway, and I still had a channel. So I was able to still deduct everything in 2019.
okay.
I
Thank
write
you.
everything off, and I'm not an LLC.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, internet bill. If you do a food party, if you do parties and you buy food, your gas. If you have to travel out to go and buy crystals or go pick up your mail. If you have a PO box, you can write that off as tax deductible. All that.
Awesome.
Y'all are
This is
making my
exciting.
business day.
You have to fix
It
Everything.
something in
is.
your house. You know, if you use your house as your business too, any repairs you get done is tax deductible, or whatever you have to have. What is it? If you have to augment something, like if you have to put something up, like a studio, you have to paint, you have to do a floor, you have to put up a backdrop. Yeah.
I mean,
It is
I don't
all
own
tax
my house, but
deductible.
that's good to
Wow.
know.
Everything.
Yep.
So when it was 2019, I built the other studio over there. That's now my bedroom. So I got all that renovation that was tax deductible. Then this in 2020 is when I did all the rest of the renovations down here, and they're not quite done, but they're almost done. So this whole studio build out, the bathroom build out, tax deductible. I work down here. That is my bathroom. So all the remodel that I finished down here, because then the other area on the other side of this wall, which you guys can't see, is by basically my office area and consultation area and storage. That's all tax deductible. And that gave me a nice little pretty penny, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Everything. When I go and have a meal, I think you just said this, beloved. When I go have a meal and I'm discussing anything, I will drop some info. I will have a slight conversation about my business. I don't care what it is. We're going to talk about my business. Why? So it could be
Yep.
a write off.
That's right. Yep.
When I'm down in Florida, he don't know this yet, but I'm taking my cars.
Uh-huh.
Uh, who? I'm going to turn on my phone and go live a few times by the ocean, by the Gulf. That
Oh
just
yeah.
made my entire trip tax deductible.
Perfect.
That's right. Business.
Damn.
Smart move.
Lisa on the go.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pay
Yeah.
him no more money than I have to.
Wow.
Okay?
Amen.
Good for you.
Hello, somebody.
This is very inspiring.
Good.
Yes, it is.
That was a little bit off that beaten path, but that's okay. It was good information.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Wow.
Um,
really good.
so when you're doing Instagram, I use Canva, so my monthly subscription for Canva is tax deductible. Um, Whitney, the one that creates my Instagram posts for me, she schedules them through something called Later, Later.com. Tax deductible, that subscription. My Wondershare Filmora, we'll get into that. I think again, I keep saying I'm going to make. It's not going to be part of this, but um, I'll make something just to talk about the technology. Anything you use for editing software, Photoshop, if you have a subscription to Photoshop or you purchase it, all of that stuff is all tax deductible, guys. Anything you're doing towards your business. Now, to Corin's point, I would recommend at some point you do become an LLC. In fact, I think I always recommend that when we're talking in the Be Like conferences and stuff,
Yeah.
because it does relieve you of the liability, right? I mean, it shields your personal wealth, your personal right from your business, especially in the business we're in.
Can you say
And
that again? Can you please say that again?
yep, becoming an LLC shields you as far as liability is concerned from your personal wealth. You become a corporation. So if there should be somebody that would sue you, they'd be suing the corporation and not you. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that you guys should be looking for soon will be that a waiver that I'm going to be sending out to you guys so that any Reiki sessions, Akashic record readings, tarot readings, uh, we're not going to hold Lisa Heart of Inspiration or Lightworker Academy or Joanna or Elizabeth. right? We get it's held harmless, right? Um, and there's another side note. I know there's rabbit trails here. I would also tend to, this is my own personal recommendation. I do not do a lot of medical readings.
No, I'm not doing them ever.
Sometimes I hear things. Sometimes I'm asked, but I give very, very strong admonitions. I am not a medical doctor. Go to your doctor. For things that are serious or whatever. I will give you recommendations about oils and herbs and things that can assist. I will do a Reiki treatment for the purpose of, helping to alleviate pain. However, I'm not a medical doctor. So if the pain does not subside or what have you, I need to have a way to that I'm held harmless. Okay? If you give somebody a tarot reading, and let's say, and I've had this happen, where I'm like, okay, this, and this, they're asking me about, let's say, I don't know, entering into contract with somebody. And I might say, hey, these are some of the things I see. This potentially could be good. This is where the pitfalls I'm seeing, but this is the energy as it is right now. And I'm not an accountant, nor am I a lawyer. So read everything and do what you got to do your due diligence. This is what I see. And let's say I've had somebody, literally, I would like, you need to really get with this within 5 days. You need to read the contract. You need to do this, and the other. It's a personal reading. And I very specifically in the recording said you need to look at this contract. There's some language in there that it could end up being not beneficial to you. And they could end up having more ownership in your endeavor than you're really going to be comfortable with. They did not follow that advice. They went on and signed the contract and then came back to me and said, oh, it says that, this person's going to have blah, blah, blah amount of ownership. And I'm like, you need to press pause and rewind. I specifically told you to read it. And I specifically said I'm not a lawyer. Or they waited, somebody else waited an additional amount of time before they signed on with this particular manager. I said you need to get with them within the next however many days, maybe weeks. And they pussyfooted around and waited, and it was like a week later, and then they finally get back around to them, and they're like, well, that offer doesn't stand anymore. Your reading was wrong. I said, well, when did you go to them? And they were like, it was a week later after I told them. I said, I told you, do this. But you can't, you don't want to get held in a, so there's some things that we just need to tighten up our belt on that. But I just wouldn't do a whole lot of medical stuff, especially when it's serious. Like when I have people asking me about like cancer and this and that. No. I'll tell them, and then I'll tell them go to the doctor. Or go to the naturopath or what have you. So anyway, it's a whole different story right now. Okay. Let's get back to IG so that we can kind of wrap some of this up today. So Instagram, you need to do a personal where they see you, they feel you, they hear you post. One a day. You should do also some sort of saying, or if it's a tarot card or whatever, some sort of quotation. Do one of those once a day. Try to also on that quotation, like if you find a quote and you're giving credit, put your logo in the corner so they always see your logo. Put your logo in the corner. So it's a good idea to post at least twice a day. It's a good idea to Google hashtags and follow specific hashtags that are popular in your space. So for the empaths and narcissists, you'll always want to follow hashtag empath, hashtag narcissist. I feel like it's hashtag narcissistic abuse or something like that. You can literally Google top hashtags for empath, top hashtags for psychic, top hashtags for tarot. But do probably about 5, no more than 10 hashtags, no more than 10 hashtags, and put them in your first comment, not in your caption. It's a IG hack. Follow those hashtags as well. Go through your Instagram if you're going to use Instagram to try to grow this thing. Go through, I want you to be on Instagram for about an hour at least a day, maybe 2, but at least an hour a day. And at first, all you're going to be doing is going through and looking for profiles that are in that hashtag, that have posted something in that hashtag, and see what you're feeling about their energy. You are probably going to find people that are like you, that are coaches or Reiki masters or whatever. So remember, there's a good chunk of you that are in here right now that I found on Instagram. And I liked your energy. And I told my VA, follow them, like a post or 2 of theirs, comment on that post. Usually what will happen is you'll get a comment back, and this is what I need to get better at on my own Instagram. Get a comment back or something, or they'll come over and like some of your posts, and they'll at you. So a number of you added me in yours. The minute you get, the minute you get tagged, now all of you guys that I've tagged in my stuff, or that you tag me, our followers now are watching each other. They'll go and they'll look and they'll click on that tag and they'll see you. Okay? And vice versa. That's also why it's extremely important to be very effective with your hashtags. Even if they're popular, it'll still come up in the feed, okay? Instagram algorithm is way easier to handle than, it's way easier to crack than YouTube's. Way easier. So start following, start commenting. Make sure your captions are engaging. Not just 1 or 2 words. Make sure your captions are engaging. There's no real length, right? I haven't seen a cap yet. So put real good information in there. And at least 2 to 3 of your posts each week need to have a call to action. You're going to give great information and guidance in the majority of them. But if you're doing 2 posts every day, that's what, 14 posts a week? Right? 2 or 3 of them can have a call to action. DM me if, this is you. So, for instance, for me, right, it's, are you ready to follow your purpose? And we give something about purpose. We say something about purpose, and then we do what we call a blunt post. I'm looking for 5 people that are ready to move into their purpose. What are you waiting for? Why haven't you started this process? Why haven't you gotten a coach yet? I throw it right back in their face. Because
That's
a
what
lot of times, huh?
That's what really got me. I kept looking at your posts on Instagram because you followed me. And I kept looking and looking. I'm like, oh my God, what is the universe trying to say? So I just finally did it.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
And the people that are meant to work with you, it'll click, it will resonate, and they'll be like, I got to do it. It will click eventually.
That's right.
It might take 3 posts, it might take 23 posts, but eventually they'll be like, wow. And we'll probably discuss this a little bit further next week. And you go ahead and start DMing them. Don't sit around and wait for people to DM you. Unless you're like Malika and people are just DMing her anyway. And she's getting more than what I'm getting. Hey, baby. Good Lord. But don't wait. Don't wait. Now, what I sent you it is a very generic DM script. I sent it in an email to everybody this morning in both Word, and it is in the body of the email itself. And I want you to begin to look through that and see how you feel about it. And make it your own. We're going to make it our own. Okay? That's how you're going to start a conversation and build a relationship to get them to the 15-minute call, to then get them to the 30 to 45-minute call. If we're going to talk about a sales journey, the sales journey for your people are in the Instagram posts and or the YouTube is all designed to sell them to the DM. All right? That's the only goal, especially with the blunt posts. The only goal is to sell them to DM, right? You're giving value the whole time, but this is what you're doing. The DM is to sell them to get on a 15-minute call with you. The clarity call. The clarity call is only to sell them to get to the 30 to 45-minute call, the consultation. You're not trying to sell a $3,000 program in a DM. Some people will be ready to do it, but I don't recommend that. Because we want to be sure all along the way they are dedicated, that they are going to really put in the work it takes to complete your program. And I'm finding this out too as we're growing, right? I'm finding this out. There are certain things that I don't like to stereotype, but there's just certain things that I see and behaviors that I just, not everyone's going to be dedicated enough to get through the whole thing anyway. And it's unfortunate. And it breaks my heart because, but we got to be sure all along the way with the checks and balances that they're dedicating their all in so that you're not expending energy that you don't need to. Because we want to really pour into the ones that are really ready to work with us. And we'll find a way to work with us. And so that we can have the energy to then give to those that might not be ready, right, to come in and work with us at the level that we're talking about. Okay? So how many of you all have YouTube channels that are operating right now? Okay.
Nope.
Malika? Nope. I know Shelly, you're getting ready to launch yours.
Yeah. I'm close. I'm going to say, well, it will be launched out before the end of the month. So,
Okay.
yeah. I'm excited
Okay.
and nervous.
That's exciting. I'm thrilled.
Well,
Okay. I am. I'm excited. I'm excited. So this is okay. So then this is the other thing I'm going to say then too. Whether you have a YouTube channel or not, Please also utilize IGTV for some long form videos, so no more than 15 minutes. If you create IGTV videos, you can then post them on your YouTube channel. I'm all about repurposing content as much as humanly possible. You can also take those could show the first minute. That could be one of your posts. The first minute of your video, and then it'll say watch, click to watch more or whatever, and you have, there's a post right there. So do utilize that, but I want you to plan your content out. Plan out your content. What do you want to talk about? And try to get into the habit now. Please don't get into the bad habit that I'm in now. Plan it out about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time. Have the themes. Don't be like Lisa and be like, I think I'm going to make a YouTube video today.
I think
Y'all,
that's my
please.
problem. That's one of my problems. I do not plan out anything, and it sucks, and I just always do things on a whim, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to do a new moon video. Oh my God,
Girl. It'd be a mess.
Yeah, I've never
around
been
here.
good at planning, but I know that I need to, so.
Plan it. I'm not that great at scripting, although the podcast has gotten me to that point where unless I'm interviewing, I'm scripting it out. And, creating my PowerPoint presentation, doing whatever. So that has forced me to be better. And actually going on vacation has now forced me, I'll probably do the meditation later on today for the new moon. But other than that, everything else I'm recording. I'm going to finish up the classwork, and then I'm going to go ahead on and do, I'll end up recording my full moon videos this week. I'll end up recording my podcast for the next 2 weeks, probably. I'll end up at least. And then I got to figure out some content to drop during the, this week while I'm gone. But I got to plan it. So it's forcing me to do that. So plan some items you want to talk about, and you'll feel better, especially when you're just starting out. I had the advantage / disadvantage of preaching for so many years that I'm so used to it. Idea pops in the head. All right, mic's on. Let's go. I'm used to it. Off the cuff. But I wish I had themes. I wished I had plans. I wished I had a direction, because it just helps. Just helps. So plan it so you know what you want to talk about and you feel better about turning that camera on. Okay. With IGTV, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, Malika, you probably know better than me, because I don't do too much IGTV. Do you have to use your phone for that too? I think you have to use your phone for IGTV as well, right?
You don't no longer. You can actually go and upload videos on IGTV.com, right from in the same format as you would YouTube. You no longer have to, it doesn't have to be long anymore. Like up and down. You can definitely do it straight from your computer or your phone. It just depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
Now, and it can be over an hour long. It doesn't matter.
There's not the 15-minute rule anymore? Okay. So, that being said, though, let me just say this, and because this will help with YouTube if you guys are going to start YouTube as well. Please try, unless you're doing readings, and even readings. I'm trying to keep my readings for individual signs to 15 minutes, 20 max. If you're not doing readings, keep your YouTube videos to 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? People just don't watch it. It's better, it's easier starting out, and it's easier for YouTube to throw you up in the algorithm. And we'll talk more about YouTube next week. But if you're going to record long form, which is 10 minutes and up, well, actually, anything longer than a minute. But if you're going to record long form, which is 10 to 15 minutes, I would record it maybe with YouTube in mind, maybe not, but I would be using the same video on YouTube and Instagram or IGTV. I would use the same thing. Use your phone for right now. Most of us have really good phones anyway. Use your phone. And there's plenty of editing software out here, editing software apps out here to use straight from your phone. You do not have to, guys, go out here and buy all this equipment that I bought. I bought all this equipment because I had the money, and I'm a tech head. Full disclosure. And I was working. I could do that. Didn't matter. So, but don't feel like you have to. You can grow into all this stuff. All right. So I guess my assignment then this week for you guys, really think about your Instagram presence. Really think about who you are and your brand. And I want you to start posting. I want you to find your hashtags. I want you to start posting, even if it's once a day. I'm not going to say do twice a day right away. But even if it's once a day or 2 to 3 times a week or whatever you can do, I want you to start posting with some regularity. I want you to think about it. And I'd love for everybody to be able to make one IGTV video this week. Just one. Okay? And then we're all going to share our Instagram handles with one another. We'll all follow each other. All right?
Yes.
All right. Love it. Do you guys have any questions at all or anything you want to say?
I don't know. Can I get Malika's website?
I
Or
don't have a website.
her Instagram, you mean?
Yeah. Instagram, so I can follow you.
Yeah. I'll write it out so you guys can see it in the chat.
Awesome.
Oh, I wrote them in the chat. The first one's my main Instagram. The second one's my tarot Instagram.
Okay,
Don't judge me.
right on. Cool. Shelly, I want yours too when you get ready.
And of
Okay,
course,
I
I will
will.
follow you.
Yeah, we're going to share everybody's, yes, with everybody. Definitely. Because I want us to all follow each other and support one another.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Oh, my God. Get tagged in too much crap. All right. Oh, we're going to end on time today.